Hey guys, welcome back. My original plan for today did not work out. I'll probably do that on Wednesday if I can find the motivation. But today I decided that since everyone is still so busy ripping the sequel trilogy to shreds, or at least the vocal people on the internet, I've decided to buck the trend and list the top 10 best things about the sequel trilogy, at least in my personal opinion. Star Wars has always been known for its cute or unusual creatures. I mean, between the Ewoks and interesting creatures in the prequel trilogy, and the sequel trilogy is no different. The two that come to mind as the most adorable creatures in the sequel trilogy are, of course, the Porgs. I love Porgs. They're so dang cute. And, of course, the little droid smith in The Rise of Skywalker, Babu Frick. I know some people were annoyed with him, but I thought he was really cute, and if they ever come out with a Babu Frick, like, life-size maquette, I want it. I would love to stick that guy up on a shelf. Number 9 on this list is the acting. I would argue that the sequel trilogy has the best acting of the entire saga. Notable performances in the sequel trilogy include, of course, Mark Hamill, who I believe gave one of the best performances of his life as old Luke, and the late, wonderful Carrie Fisher, who, again, I think her portrayal of General Organa could well be the absolute best in her entire career. As for the new guys, two names that stand out as excellent are both Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley. Even though I can't stand the character of Kylo Ren, I have to admit Adam Driver did a really, really good job with him. And Daisy Ridley, she's amazing. I don't know how she reaches down into that well and just pulls out all the different emotions. And even though people were poking fun at Rey's dramatic reaction face, the fact that she could get across the emotion she was feeling without saying a word, that's good. Number 8 on the list is everyone's favorite rolling ball, BB-8. This list would not be complete without him, and like all lovable droid sidekicks, he's like a Swiss Army knife. He follows you around like a puppy, but at the same time, he is absolutely fearless, I would say. And he's got some really, really neat tricks up his... Well, he doesn't have any sleeves, but he has some really neat tricks. He can be funny and portray emotions with just a... He's very, very expressive, and we just love him. I absolutely love BB-8. I don't think he was meant to take the place of R2, but be a good accompaniment to R2. He complements R2. And like I said, droids are definitely Swiss Army knives, which, of course, is why Leia says, never underestimate a droid, and we should not underestimate this little guy either. Number 7 on the list is the epic dogfights, not just in space like with the escape from Dakar in The Last Jedi, which was actually more of a slaughter. Even though it was seen as a ripoff of the trench battle, the battle over Starkiller Base is still very, very visually impressive, as is the final space battle, the most epic space battle in history, with The Rise of Skywalker. But the sheer numbers of that battle are absolutely mind-blowing, and we get the best of everything. We get an amazing fight, and some old and new faces in there. Of course, I have to say my two favorite moments in that particular battle are seeing the ghost. Yay! So we know that Hera's still around and fighting the good fight. And seeing Wedge in the gunner compartment in the Falcon. That was awesome. Okay, number 6 on the list of best things in the sequel trilogy is the cinematography. I have to say, especially in Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, the cinematography, those shots are absolutely beautiful. Standing out is the cinematography in The Last Jedi. Just look at those establishing and long shots. The composition is like art. It's absolutely beautiful. and as a wannabe filmmaker, I can really appreciate that. Halfway through, number 5 on the list is the fact that the sequel trilogy does indeed stay true to the Star Wars morals. Like all the films before them, they stay true to family, a clear line between good and evil. Even though The Last Jedi sort of walked the line like, in the end, there is no gray area. There is the light side and the dark side, and no in between. And of course, the other themes of redemption and perseverance. Like, even when the odds are totally against you, you just never, ever give up. Because if you keep working, eventually good will win out over evil. Number 4 on the list is a total no-brainer. Arguably, it could be put in number 1 on the list, but that is the music. I mean, it's John Williams. The guy is a genius. Need I say any more? His music, his new themes for the sequel trilogy that stand out are Rey's theme, Jedi Steps, Rosa's theme I kind of liked. What else? Oh yes, and Rise of Skywalker, aka the friendship theme from episode 9. The music of Star Wars is, I mean, no matter, and I think that's something everyone can agree on, no matter which episode it is, listen to the soundtrack without watching the movie, and the soundtrack is A+, every single time. Number 3 on the list was something that really excited and surprised me, and that is Jedi Leia, specifically showing Leia with Force powers and the fact that she actually had Jedi training. This is something of a departure from the old expanded universe, now called Legends, books, where Leia did have minimal Jedi training, but she did not go all that far with it, and it was extremely sporadic. It was so nice to know that Leia actually learned enough to pass on what she learned, and as far as the Jedi ways go, and it was the best surprise ever to get to see her, first of all, using the Force for something other than telepathy, I guess, not necessarily mind reading, but communicating via her mind, which seems to be one of her strengths. She has a very strong mind, I guess. I know people don't like the Carrie Poppins thing that happened, but I love it because it's the fact we get to see just how powerful Leia is, and I love to see her training Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. That was beautiful, and I'm so glad that they included that. Coming down to the wire, number 2 on the list, the new Force powers. Even in The Force Awakens, we got to see Kylo Ren basically freezing whatever he wanted, not just people, but a blaster bolt in mid-air. That is still freaking scary. And in The Last Jedi, we finally get to see Jedi healing. Jedi healing is a power that's been mentioned in so many different Star Wars books, but we never actually see it either in animation or live action. Rise of Skywalker, we finally get to see Jedi healing, and it was so cool. I love it. People ask if you could have any Force power, what would it be? At this point in my life, I would definitely pick Jedi healing. It would come in so handy. I really wish it existed. And finally, number 1 on the Clumsy Jedi's list of 10 best things about the Star Wars sequel trilogy is the Force ghosts. It's no secret that I love seeing and hearing Force ghosts, and the moments that stand out the most are Force Ghost Yoda coming back and knocking some sense back into Luke so he digs himself out of that pity party he's been having and steps up to the plate and actually becomes what he's supposed to be. Thanks, Yoda. And The Last Jedi. And The Rise of Skywalker is where it really takes the cake. We get Force Ghost Luke. And while it would have been better to see all of them, we get the voices of so many past Jedi, including Kanan and Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan. It is one of the biggest, like, woohoo moments in the whole sequel trilogy, at least for me. So that's why it takes the number 1 spot. So anyway guys, that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to see more family-friendly Star Wars content, go ahead and click that little subscription button down below, and don't forget to check out the links in the description box. If you want to stay updated on future videos, ring that little notification bell. I still need to find a Star Wars-esque bell to ring to remind you. And of course, if you like, check out my other channels. I have a reaction channel and a vlogging channel. Those links will be at the end, I believe. One of the links will be at the end, one of them will be in the description box. Anyway, just look for it, you'll find it. So, question of the day. What is your absolute favorite thing about the sequel trilogy? Even if it's something as small as the music or seeing your favorite characters again, that's still something positive. Go ahead and post a comment below. As always, please keep things nice. I'm sick of people trashing the sequel trilogy. You do it again here, and your comment will be erased. Or actually, it won't be put up in the first place. So, if you want to whine about the sequel trilogy, go somewhere else. We don't need that kind of negativity here. Especially now, when there's so much other negativity in the world. Why bicker about something as petty as a film? So we're wrapping things up with the verse of the week, which is 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 7. I think that's really appropriate given the circumstances. As long as this situation continues, I will continue to look up Bible verses that are comforting or encouraging. So I will see everybody again on Wednesday, and until then, God bless and may the Force be with you. You don't want to spread negativity. You want to subscribe and click notifications.